What is going on YouTube? Joe here with Culination Media, and welcome back for another live Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi battle against a subscriber/follower on Twitter. Today, we are up against Jordy, who I believe also has a YouTube channel of his own. I will double check that on his Twitter account, and if he does, I will put that in the description below, so you guys can go check him out, all that fun stuff. Show him some love, why not? We like spreading the love around here. So we're having a mixed tier match. As for the team, we're including Mega Steelix this time around, so that's going to be fun. We also have Choice Banded Rapidash, Choice Scarf Rotom Mow, Eviolite Girder, Specially Defensive Mandibuzz, and Specially Defensive Milotic. So we've got stuff from just about every tier you can think of there. It's a nice, solid mix. Now, as we're getting started today, just a friendly reminder, in case you guys haven't done so already, and you would like to show your support to the channel and the series, and all that fun stuff, feel free to do so by clicking that like button right below this video. That helps out a lot when you guys do that, and you've really been coming out to show support lately on the Wi-Fi stuff, so I do appreciate that. And you can leave your thoughts in the comment section below if you so choose. I do look through there to see what suggestions you guys have, and I try to include at least one on every team that I make, because you know what, I just don't always have the best ideas. You have to defer to other people to get a mixed mosh of things, get some brainstorming going. And this is not looking good for me. He's got the Persian there, but then he's got Zapdos, Donphan, a Regenerator Core in Slowbro, and the Amoonguss, and then Infernape. The Infernape's probably going to be choiced. Donphan is probably a Stealth Rocker. Persian is going to be for Fake Out Pressure. This is a solid team. I threw mine together kind of quick, so I don't know how well this is going to go. This might be a thumping. Who knows? Or we could have a match that goes like an hour long or something. You never know. You never, ever know. Now, having Rocks up on his side of the field will be great, actually, now that I'm looking at it, because that Infernape could also be Focus Sash, and it would hurt the Zapdos, which probably would like to switch in and out. Actually, the Persian could be Focus Sash, too. That's not completely crazy to think. I mean, typically they would carry Silk Scarf or Life Orb, but I've seen them Focus Sash. I've used it as a Focus Sash Pokemon. It actually does work out pretty well. And with Infernape, too, you can bluff the choice item with a Focus Sash. Just use it as you would a normal choice user, just by U-turning and such. It can work. It can work. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, so here we go. He's leading off with Flint, and that is going to be his Infernape. I believe my Fletchender's name is Flint. I'd have to double check, because I haven't actually used it in Wi-Fi yet, but I bred it a while back. I think its name is Flint. Interesting. It all fits. So, trying to think, would you want to leave an Infernape out on a Steelix? I don't know. It really depends on what the set is, and it might be a little bit too early to decide, because he could just U-turn expecting me to switch. Or we could attempt to EQ. Let's EQ. Let's get our Mega Evolution off. Let's get off an EQ and just see how he's going to play this, because I want to get a feel. That's what you have to do in these battles, is especially at the beginning, it's all about getting a feel for your opponent. How are they going to play? How are they going to use their Pokemon? And how does that reflect back onto, you know, what sets they have? Because how they play certain Pokemon can give you a good idea on what exactly the sets are, and sometimes they tip their hand. You never know. It's all about analyzing the clues, what's between the lines. So he's going to U-turn. That does absolutely no damage to Steelix whatsoever, but he goes into Slowbro, so we're going to just trade no damage, basically. That doesn't really do that much, sadly, and he has Regenerator, although he could be Mega, in which case he would lose his Regenerator. So if he doesn't have Slack Off or some kind of healing move, he might, yeah, he might switch out to get the Regenerator, come back in safely at full health, go from there. Either way, we need to switch, because if he has Scald or Surf or whatever it may be, Steelix doesn't want to take any of those. So we're going to go into Rotom, because we can handle that, and he is just going to go for Slack Off. Does not Mega Evolve, though. So I could have taken that opportunity to set up Rocks, but we still have a little bit of initiative here, because he's probably going to have to switch out. which is good news for us. And I'm going to Will-O-Wisp whatever comes in, because I would like to start spreading some residual damage. Hopefully he doesn't switch out into Infernape. That would be the worst case scenario. I don't think he would want his Infernape to take damage, though. Even if he predicts a Leaf Storm, that's still going to do a solid chunk to an Infernape, because Infernape is pretty darn frail. And I know my opponent knows that. He's a good battler, so that's not going to happen. Yeah, Fun Guy comes out, and that is going to be the Amoonguss, which does not shock me at all. And, oh, and the Will-O-Wisp misses. That's just fantastic. The good news here is that he can't Spore us because we're a Grass type. But what he can do is Sludge Bomb us. That is Stab. It'll be super effective. It'll be a solid 2-hit KO. I really think that he might predict me to go into Steelix here, predicting him to go for Sludge Bomb. And as such, he would go for Spore. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? That is the question. Well, this is going to be a mind games type of battle. This is going to play like an OU battle. I can feel it already. I'm just going to go for another Will-O-Wisp, predicting him to go for the Spore, predicting Steelix. And he does. He does go for the Spore. That is good news for us because we made up for that missed Will-O-Wisp the turn before. So that's good. I was a little bit worried that I might be over-predicting there, but that is not the case. He might double Spore here, honestly. He might, because he could know that I'm choiced. I mean, he probably does know that I'm choiced. Most Rotom Mows are. In fact, most of them are probably Scarf, too. I probably see more Scarf than Specs. I interchange them just because I like both, and I like running Life Orb, too, but alas, we have Scarf this time, and we're locked into Willow. So we need to make a decision. I really would like to switch in Steelix. I think he might go for the Sludge Bomb this time, but I have a gut feeling that he's going to go for the Spore anyway. But I can't stay in and just continually Willow. That's pointless. Completely pointless. And he does double Spore, so Steelix is going to be fast asleep. This core is going to be very tough to break because my main answer to Amoonguss would be to just Flare Blitz it in the face with Rapidash, but he's got Slowbro, which can switch in on that extremely easily. And I think it can take a couple of Mega Horns, too, even if I were to predict that. And on the other end of that spectrum is my main answer to Slowbro would be Rotom and firing off like a Volt Switch or a Leaf Storm or something, and Amoonguss walls the Stab. They both have Regenerator. And then, of course, he's got Zapdos, so that's a thing. So this is either going to be a match in which I just get demolished and he wipes the floor with me, and we're just prolonging that already at this point, only 5 minutes in, or this is just going to be a very long match because I have a very bulky core with the Milotic and the Mandibuzz and Steelix, very, very bulky defensive core there, and he's got bulk plus Regenerator, so yeah, just bulk everywhere, lots of bulk. And that's why this is turning into a little bit of an OU match as far as how it's playing so far, which is fine. I don't mind that. Have some OU play with some lower tiered mons. I'm perfectly fine with that because it's the mind games, and that's what I really like. I really like the mind games. I like the mental wars of attrition. That is what Pokemon is all, or competitive Pokemon is all about. At least to me, that's what I find very entertaining. Now, with Steelix asleep, that could actually help us just because of the fact that Sleep Clause is a thing. We are playing by Smogon rules. You don't have to play by Smogon rules, of course. I'm not trying to say that everyone should play by it, but that's just what we are doing for this match. So he is not going to Spore my entire team, which is good, because I kind of don't like that. So we're going to switch in Rapidash here. He goes for the Sludge Bomb. That did more than I wanted it to. Thankfully, he doesn't get a Poison, and I'm going to go for a Mega Horn, predicting Slowbro to come in here because he really doesn't have anything else that wants to switch in on a Flare Blitz, I would guess, unless he just wants to switch in the Donphan, but that would still take a lot of damage from a Flare Blitz. And let's see, what would be his other resist? I mean, he could have physically defensive Zapdos. That would still do almost half. I think it KOs everything on his team, actually, except for the Slowbro. So Mega Horn seems like a good idea, at least in theory. We'll see. We will see what happens. He's taking some time to think about it. He may think that I'm going to go for the Mega Horn. And if that's the case, he may switch in Zapdos or Donphan. And I think this is Donphan, and it is. So he switches into Donphan, and we're going to break the Sturdy. We'll see if he has Rocky Helmet here. Yeah, Flare Blitz would have been a 2-hit KO. It definitely would have with Stab. But he has the lefties. Okay, no Rocky Helmet, so that's good to know. And at this point, are you just going to go for the EQ, or are you going to go for the Stealth Rock predicting a switch? I mean, if you predict me to be Choice Banded, then, well, I mean, I didn't show Life Orb, so the likelihood of him thinking that I'm anything but Choice Band at this point is pretty low. So what we're going to do is I'm going to predict a Stealth Rock here, and I'm going to go into Mandibuzz, and this helps because we have Defog on Mandibuzz, and we don't have to take that Stealth Rock damage after he already sets it up. We get in before having to take that damage, and he does go for the Stealth Rock, which is not great, but this Donphan can't do a whole lot to us. He probably has Stealth Rock and Rapid Spin, as well as EQ and Ice Shard. So we can go for a Defog here, or we could go for a knockoff, and we have options. Because he's going to switch, obviously. There's no reason to leave Donphan in here. He's going to go out into Zapdos, and this is the first time we're seeing this on the field. But we're just going to get off a Defog and get rid of those Stealth Rocks just because I don't want them on the field. Mandibuzz takes 25%, and so does Rapidash, and we don't like that. The rest of my team doesn't really mind rocks too much, but just because we're doing so much switching, and at this stage of the match, we're really just jostling for momentum as much as possible. I don't want those switches being punished with Stealth Rocks. But here, since Zapdos is very, very bulky, it's very common for them to be physically defensive, I will just Toxic this thing. And I think he might go for Heat Wave, predicting Steelix to come out on an Electric-type move. That would make sense, and Heat Wave's not going to do a whole lot to Mandibuzz. And I am specially defensive, so even if he does go for an Electric-type move, I'm fine. Yep, he does go for the Heat Wave, just as I thought, and that does not do much at all. We can Toxic him here, and I don't know if he will show his lefties. No, I think Poison comes after the lefties? Maybe? I don't know. Now that I actually stop to think about it, I'm not sure. But either way, he's going to get hurt by the Poison there. Having this thing Toxic is fantastic. So he probably has, what, Heat Wave, and then either Volt Switch or T-Bolt, Roost. Maybe he has Defog, too. But that would mean that Donphan maybe doesn't have the Rapid Spin, or maybe he's got both. I really don't know is what I'm trying to say. Instead of Defog, he could have an HP of some kind, too. He could have, like, HP Grass, HP Rock. Either one of those. Or HP Ground, even. That works well to hit Steel types. And Rock Ground types and all that jazz. Alright, so he is going to switch out. And he's going to go into Flint as I go for the knockoff. And we'll see what this is. It's Choiced. Yeah. Choice Scarf. Okay, so if that's Choice Scarf, I'm trying to piece together his team here. He's got Black Sludge or Lefties or just some kind of recovery item on that Amoonguss. We haven't seen what the item is on the Slowbro. I would guess that it would be Rocky Helmet because I don't think we saw the Lefties. We don't know what that Zapdos is yet. It didn't show Lefties, but I don't think we gave it an opportunity to. I guess that could be Rocky Helmet too. Donphan is Lefties. Huh. Is that it? He also has the Persian, which has not seen the battlefield yet. Okay, that was the other Pokemon that I was thinking of. Alright. Now, unfortunately, Infernape wrecks my entire team. Milotic is not physically defensive, so I can't really switch in on a close combat. He's not going to spam Flare Blitzes with Rapidash still alive because of the Flash Fire boost. So that's not going to be something he does, especially with his Choice Scarf gone. So he is just going to go for the U-turn as Rotom comes in. Huh, I thought he was going to go for a close combat there. I mean, we probably would have taken about the same amount of damage, but he's going to get some more momentum here. This is not looking good for us. This is not looking good at all. But how far into this battle are we? We're like 12, 13 minutes, something like that. And I don't think we've seen any casualties on either side yet. This is going to be such a long, long match. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, this is going to be such a long match. Those are, you know what? Those are some of the better matches, though. Like, some of the best matches, I should say. It's just so exciting. It just, you get like 30 minutes in and you're like, I still don't know who's going to win this battle. You know, it's anyone's game. I don't know if this one's going to turn out to be that way, but we'll see. We shall see. It's taking a long time to think about what he wants to bring out here. I mean, he knows that I'm choiced, and the thing is that I haven't locked myself into anything yet. So he's going to go into Zapdos, and he's going to take a little bit more damage from the poisoning. No lefties, because it would have showed there for sure. What in the world are you? Are you Rocky Helmet? I mean, I guess that would make sense just because the Donphan is lefties. We should outspeed, though, because we're scarfed. So we can just dish out some damage here. Oh, wait a minute. He outspeeds. He goes for a Volt Switch. He had two Scarfers. The Infernape was Choice Scarf, and that Zapdos has to be Choice Scarf to outspeed. Wow, the double Scarf. Not even bad. Not even bad. And for those of you that may be thinking, oh, well, how can you do that? As he switches into Donphan, which is a good play, I really was not going to expect that. I didn't think that Zapdos was Choice Scarf. I figured he wouldn't have two Scarfers. But anyway, back to what I was saying, is that you can have multiples of the same items. Like, I have multiple leftovers on my team. He might have multiple leftovers on his team too. And two Scarfs. That's perfectly fine. There is no item clause. So that's just for, you know, Battle Spot, VGC, those types of things. Those are not the rules that we're using for this battle. So, yeah. Yeah, I personally think item clause is ridiculous, so I never play by it. But that's just me. Everybody has their different opinion, and it's all good. So all you need to know is that's what we're doing for this battle. There is the Ice Shard incoming with the Mandibuzz switching in. And it's still super effective. Now, I think he was just going for it to get some damage off on Rotom. But, yeah. Yeah. I lost my bearings a little bit there. That kind of made me, it threw me off my game, that Choice Scarf Zapdos. Man, so we have to deal with another Choice Scarf user. And that could come to an advantage for us just because we have Flash Fire. So if we can predict a Heat Wave, we can get Rapidash in, and what else? Yeah, we have Steelix for his electric type moves. So that is a thing. Alright, so he's going to switch in Flint here. Yet again, as we go for a knockoff, this is going to do nothing because we're not even getting the boost. He doesn't have his Choice Scarf anymore. We are going to get our lefties recovery. I really wanted to get rid of the lefties on that Donphan, or possibly remove an item from literally anything else on his team, because it's a problem. His whole team is a problem, honestly. I'm having a really hard time getting any momentum going because his main core is very difficult to break, and he hasn't even really had to bring out the Slowbro too much. So he goes for the close combat, and we're not even physically defensive, but we take that somewhat well. Somewhat well. And I went for the double knockoff there. I really thought he would U-turn out, and that was not the case. So that's not really the best for us because we can't take another one, I don't think. Or it would be really close. I could try and then go for Roost, but I don't know that that would be worth it. We don't want to lose Mandibuzz at this point because we should be able to take on that Slowbro fairly well. It might have Scald, though, so it could burn us. But any Psychic type stab is not going to be doing a whole lot. If it has like Fire Blast or Flamethrower, that's not going to do a whole lot. He would have to have Ice Beam, which isn't that common to carry on Slowbro, honestly, because Scald usually does all the work for you. Gets those burns, it's stab, all that jazz. We could fodder off Rotom here. And I think I am going to fodder off Rotom. Sadly. It's a sad day when we have to fodder off Rotom. But he is going to go for the close combat again. At least his defenses are going to drop. And he can't just outspeed everything and U-turn out. But still a problem. So was that the first Pokemon that has gone down? I think it is. That's the first casualty. 17 minutes into the battle. Jeez. This is a long one. I mean, it's already a long one. The actual video portion is like 20 minutes long, and we have no idea what's going to happen in this battle. Man, we could go into Randy here, and that sounds kind of promising, because what is he going to do? He would not want to stay in because the threat of Mach Punch with his defenses dropped is kind of high. So we could potentially set up a bulk up and then go for a knockoff on Slowbro. I would guess that would be what would come in here. Or is he going to be cheeky? I don't know. I'm going to go for the bulk up either way, and we'll see what he wants to do. If he U-turns, I mean, that would be very, very risky, because Mach Punch, I think, would just kill you from there. Yeah, he's just going to hard switch, which is the right play to make. That's the safe play, and he's going to go right into Slowbro. Now, I am fully specially defensive, I believe. Or if I'm not fully, I definitely have some investment. So I'm not afraid of a Psychic or a Psyshock taking me out in one hit. And the question is, do we want to go for another bulk up to try to get as much out of the knockoff as possible with the boost? Or do we just go for it now and see how much it does? I mean, he has a Regenerator, though. That's the thing. That is the main problem. I really don't have an answer, because he can just switch something in and Regenerator off the whatever damage I do, so I'm the only one that loses ground. This is why I don't like Regenerator cores. I think they're annoying. I really do. That's why on the teams that I bring, I try to, if I'm going to have a Regenerator Pokemon, I try to just bring one. Just so it's not that Regenerator core, because it's kind of lame. But anyway, he's still just going for Calm Minds. I don't know what this item is, and it's bothering me. Maybe he is Mega. I guess it's possible. Oh, there we go. The Slowbronite activated, and he is Mega evolving into the giant Beyblade. Just Mega Slowbro's design is just ridiculous. It really is. And the knockoff doesn't do anywhere near as much as I wanted it to. We were at +2 right there. Of course, you know, he's got the Mega Stone, so we're not knocking off an item. And Surf does well over half at +1. And at least he lost the Regenerator, but we know he has Slack Off too. And the only thing I really had to break this was Rotom. And we sacrificed it, essentially. Which could have been a very, very big mistake. Either way, I'm going to go into Mandibuzz here. We should be able to take any hit. He opts to go for the Slack Off. So even if he went for the Surf again there, that would have been fine, because I should outspeed a Slowbro. I mean, Mandibuzz is actually pretty fast for such a bulky Pokemon. I think it's like base 80 maybe? Speed? Something like that. Now, we could Roost Up here. But Toxic sounds very inviting as well. To get some residual damage going on this thing now that the Regenerator is gone. Because he can't Slack Off forever. Eventually, you know, he would run out. But I'm going to Roost first and see what he wants to do. See if he wants to set up more Calm Minds. See, he's staying in, so he must have a plan. He's going to set up another Calm Mind. So I'm guessing he was fully invested in his physical defense, which now is like base 180 or something disgusting. Like Mega Steelix level. I don't know. I really don't know what Mega Steelix's defense actually is. I feel like it's over 200. That seems about right. But, anyway, I don't know. I don't know is what I'm trying to say, and I can't seem to form sentences anymore. He goes for the Surf. That does over half, but with the lefties, I don't think that is going to be enough. And we have you Toxic, and that is very, very important, because that means you're either going to have to sacrifice your Slowbro, or you're going to have to switch out and give up all those boosts. And you're going to have to try to come in later on in the match to get those Calm Minds up again. And that could actually be a pivotal point in the match for us, is getting that thing Toxic. And we need to hope that Amoonguss doesn't have Aromatherapy, if it even gets it. Alright, Zapdos comes out here, and I went for a Roost, because I pretty much had to. We need to get, you know, all of that HP back. And the off chance he wanted to stay out and fire off some more Surfs before switching out. But the Zapdos is poisoned too, and the Amoonguss, I think, is burned. So there's status all over the place. And it's unfortunate that that is what this this battle has come to, is that my main strategy is to toxic as many things as possible, and then, or not toxic, but just status as many things as possible, and then start chipping away. If I can get rocks up, that would be fantastic, to deal some extra chip damage, especially on this Zapdos. I feel like he's going to go for the Heat Wave. We're going to take a little bit of a risk here. I'm going to predict a Heat Wave. We're going to go into Rapidash. I mean, even if he goes for Volt Switch, it's not going to KO, I don't think. No, he goes for the T-Bolt. Come on, Rapidash, take that. Yeah, no, Rapidash is not going to take that, because it's a Zapdos, for crying out loud. He's going to take some more toxic damage, but yeah. That's not good. That is not good, because now, how in the world am I going to take out that Amoonguss? I really don't have anything. I really do not. Every time Steelix tries to do anything, he's just going to spore me. We need to get rid of that black sludge that it's holding, too. Alright, speaking of Steelix, we're going to go out into Steelix here. And my main goal here is to set up Stealth Rocks. The Zapdos has to switch. He's locked into T-Bolt. So we're going to burn at least one turn of sleep. Oh, man, we're down by 2 Pokemon, and Steelix is asleep. This is not looking great for us. Not looking great. That doesn't mean it's unwinnable. I never will just give up. And even if we end up getting 6-0'd, of course I'll stay to the end. That's just how it works. I don't do forfeiting. That's not my thing. Not a big fan. Not unless something outrageous happens, like he starts spamming swagger foul play shenanigans. Then I might be like, you know what? I'm not dealing with that. But he's a cool guy, so he's not going to do that. Alright, so he brings out Flint here, and yeah, we burned a turn of sleep. What are we going to switch into? Or are we just going to let Steelix take all that damage? Just to try to get up a Stealth Rocks. I mean, it would definitely be worth it. So let's give it a go. He's going to go for the close combat. And that does just about half. That's crazy, actually. It's crazy that Steelix only takes about 50%. I mean, that's pretty much Infernape's most powerful attack. And by pretty much, I mean it is his most powerful attack. Unbelievable bulk right there. Thankfully, Steelix woke up. We were able to get off the Stealth Rock, so that Zapdos is definitely going to have its lifespan shortened. Even if it does have Roost, it can't just switch in repeatedly. And we're going to Dragon Tail if we survive, which we do with 17 HP. And his defenses are going to drop. He's at -2 now, and we need Dragon Tail to hit, which it does. And it doesn't quite take him out. Unbelievable. At -2, you're still surviving that? I mean, he's going to die due to the Stealth Rocks coming back in, unless he can manage to get Donphan into Rapid Spin. Maybe I should have just went for the EQ. But, I don't know. I don't know. So in comes Fun Guy, the Amoonguss, who is burned. So at least we have that passive damage going, but the Regenerator is still a problem. And this is the one Pokemon on his team, more so even than the Mega Slowbro, that I don't know how I'm going to beat it. I really don't. Like, we would need to get it down to just the Amoonguss so that he can't get Regenerator recovery. Hope that he doesn't have any way to heal off his status so that he's still burned, and then knock off his recovery item. So yeah, he's going to go for the Giga Drain, and that doesn't do much at all. And it's a critical hit, and did that even do 20? Or did it do just around 20? 23? Something like that. With lefties, does that bring us back to full? Almost. So that was a net of 10 HP. Crazy. Now he's going to get hurt by the burn again. Black Sludge recovery, the whole thing. I believe he can't spore us because I have Overcoat. I'm sure he knows that. I'm going to go for the knockoff here, and he withdraws. I really wanted you to stay in and try to poison me with Sludge Bomb. That's what I wanted. He's going to go into Flint and sacrifice it. So he's not even going to bother trying to Rapid Spin the rocks away to keep Infernape alive. It's also possible that he doesn't even have Rapid Spin on the Donphan, and he just decided that with Regenerator and all that stuff, that he didn't need any way to remove hazards, which is possible, but a Sticky Web could have given his team some trouble, except for that Zapdos. Man, we are 30 minutes into this this video, just about 27 minutes into the battle. Finally picked up a KO. Now, we need to try to turn that into some positive momentum. We're only down 1, even though I feel like a lot of this has been going his way. I'm going to roost here on the incoming, I guess, T-Bolts. I'm assuming that's what he would go for here. No, he goes for the Hidden Power. Was that a prediction? It's still super effective on Mandibuzz. And we're going to roost off all that damage, which it really wasn't that much, because especially defensive Mandibuzz is an absolute tank. And he's going to get more toxic, which is good. I'm trying to think what Hidden Power that was. It's not electric. There's no way. Hidden Power Ice, maybe? Ice or Rock? I mean, I don't understand what the point of that was. Maybe just to hit the Steelix coming in? I don't know. I feel like T-Bolt would have been a better choice. Maybe he just didn't want to rest Steelix coming in again for free, which is very possible. I don't blame you for that. I don't know. All I know is that we could potentially just roost stall this thing if we really wanted to. But I think what I want to do here is knock off. And he is going to withdraw. Go back into the Amoonguss. Go into the Amoonguss. No, it's Giovanni, which is going to be the Persian seeing the light of day for the first time in this battle. And we're going to get rid of, I guess, a Life Orb. That does so much damage. Oh my goodness, Persian is so freaking frail. And yeah, Life Orb gone. He's probably going to go for the Fake Out here, I would assume. And even though Steelix only has 17 HP remaining, I think we might actually be able to take a couple of hits. As strange as that sounds, you know, it's like, since when is a Pokemon with 17 HP taking any hits ever in the history of forever? But I feel like Steelix can do it, especially without the Life Orb boost that Persian needs to do some extra damage. He is going to go for the Fake Out, and wow, that does 8. That does 8 HP. We could even take another one. And he's likely going to switch or U-turn. Probably U-turn, I would guess. You don't have to worry about the Life Orb recoil. So we can Dragon Tail and get some more damage on something. Yeah, he is going to U-turn. This is unstabbed and not very effective. And we survive with 3 HP. This Mega Steelix is ridiculously bulky. Oh my gosh. The bulk on this thing, on the physical side, is outrageous. It really, really is. So we'll see what he wants to go into here. Either way, we're going to Dragon Tail it out, barring a miss, of course. Not that I want to jinx myself. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. We'll see. He's going to go into the Donphan, which, unfortunately for us, doesn't take that much from the rocks, and it's not going to take much from this Dragon Tail either. I mean, it's nice chip damage. Maybe we can get Zapdos in here. Nope, it's going to be the Amoonguss. That really didn't work out very well. I really wanted it to be Zapdos as one of those Pokemon, because the Amoonguss obviously, as I said like 142.6 times in this video, that Amoonguss has Regenerator, so he just regenerates off all of that damage. And I still don't know how I'm going to kill this thing. We need to like knock off the item. But with Steelix at 3 HP, I don't know that there's much of a point in saving it. So I'll go for the EQ. And he goes for the Foul Play, and that is going to be it for Steelix here. So, actually, I think we have seen all of his moves now. Right, he went for Giga Drain on Mandibuzz. He went for Sludge Bomb on Rapidash a while back. He went for the Foul Play right there. I think he went for Foul Play once before, too. And Spore. So he doesn't have Synthesis or, what was the other one I was worried about? Aromatherapy. I'm not even sure if he gets it, honestly. But either way, it doesn't matter if he gets it or not. What matters is that he doesn't have it right now. And thankfully, I have knockoff on a bunch of Pokemon on this team. It just kind of worked out that way. I hope you stay in and don't Spore. Go for a Giga Drain or something. Just anything. Sludge Bomb, that's fine. Literally anything, just so I can knock off. Oh, never mind, we outspeed. That is interesting. I forgot how slow Amoonguss is. Yeah, there goes that Black Sludge. He does go for the Spore, and he still has Giga Drain to get health back. But at least all 12.5% of the burn damage is going to be inflicted every turn, which definitely helps. Now, I would expect either a Giga Drain or for him to switch out because he's getting a little bit low in the HP department. He needs to try to recover some of that. I'll go for a Drain Punch just because that might actually do more considering we're not getting the boost from the knockoff anymore. Yeah, he goes with a Giga Drain. That is not going to take us out, most likely because he's uninvested and I am invested in my special defense. And he didn't really gain that much ground with the burn included there. Now, the question is, are we going to wake up in time to get a Drain Punch off? Or do we want to switch? Man. I've been avoiding coming out with Mandibuzz to finish this thing off just because I just don't want to get poisoned. The Sludge Bomb threat with the chance for poisoning is just the worst possible thing that could ever happen to Mandibuzz. Randy does wake up. He gets off a Drain Punch. And that looks like it's going to get him into a range where the burn might take him out. It might. And he goes with a Sludge Bomb, so he's going down this turn. Randy is going to go down as well. That is not a critical hit, so no worries there. He also probably would have got the poison that time, so probably would have finished us off anyway. And Amoonguss goes down, so that was the Pokemon I was most worried about. Gone. That Mega Slowbro is poisoned. So we are actually, despite being down to 2 Pokemon, we are actually in a pretty decent position here. Out comes the Zapdos. It's going to take 25% due to the rocks. And you cannot KO us with a T-Bolt or a Volt Switch, barring a critical hit. And even then, I don't know if you can. I don't know. Looking at the defenses here and the HP, just to see which one is going to take it better, because both of my Pokemon are weak to Electric. That's probably why he brought the Zapdos out in the first place. Really no reason for him to go for Volt Switch here, because if he comes back in, the rocks will KO him. So he's probably just going to go for T-Bolt. There's really no reason for him not to do that. So we can just recover until it dies, or we can Scald and just get rid of it this turn. Because this turn, the Toxic is not going to take him out. He does go for the Volt Switch. Wow, is he counting on maybe getting a Rapid Spin off with the Donphan? Just to avoid taking the poison damage? I don't know. That was interesting. Was not expecting that. I mean, we know he has the T-Bolt. We saw it earlier on in the match. Huh. Alright, so we'll see what he wants to go into here. I would assume not the Donphan. I don't know. I mean, Donphan does not match up very well. Okay, he's going to go into Giovanni, the Persian, to essentially sacrifice it here. But I went for the Recover. So at least we're going to get all of that HP back that he just dealt via Volt Switch. And you can go for Fake Out. And it's really not that big of a deal. Is there really any reason for him to go for anything else? What does he have? Knockoff, maybe? Knockoff, U-turn, Fake Out, Return? Or maybe he has Taunt in there somewhere. Either way, he's going for the Fake Out. And with lefties, not really that big of a difference. That's like barely chip damage. And at this point, I really see no reason to just not go for a Scald. I don't think he's going to U-turn. And even if he does, what would he go into? Mega Slowbro, I guess? I still want to Scald. I don't even care. Bite! Okay, that's a good coverage move. It gets boosted by, what do you call it? Technician. So that actually does some solid damage. And yeah, Persian is going down. So Persian really didn't play into this battle too much. Didn't really get to do a whole lot. Got his life orb knocked off pretty early as far as when he came in. He didn't actually show up into the battle until like 30 minutes in or something. Anyway, the Slowbro is going to come in now. And he is Toxic. So that is the biggest advantage that we have at this point. But what I'm going to do is, he still has other Pokemon, including the Zapdos. So I'm going to Dragon Tail, because I know he's going to Calm Mind. And that's what he's doing. He has to try to get those boosts up. I don't want to let that happen. So I will go straight away for the Dragon Tail. Not going to do much to... Wow, that did nothing. Oh my gosh, that did nothing. Out comes the Zapdos. And if he was hoping to get a Rapid Spin off or just save it for fodder, it's not going to happen. As Zapdos goes down, he still does have the Donphan. And we'll see what he wants to do here. If he wants to bring out the Slowbro again and try the same thing. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my voice a little bit. Or if he's going to go into the Donphan. He does opt to go into this guy, the Slowbro again. So it's 2-on-2, but we very much so have an advantage here. Very, very much so. I will Dragon Tail again. He's going to go for the Psy Shock. That's going to hit us on our physically defensive side, which is not invested. That did not do much. That did not do as much as he probably wanted it to. We're going to Dragon Tail this out again. Out comes the Donphan, Tobuscus. Good nickname for a Donphan, of course. And I would think that a Scald would take it out. I would think that. With that lefty's recovery, though, maybe that would be the difference. I don't know. We'll have to see. But it's a Donphan. It's pretty weak as far as its special defense is concerned. And, I mean, Milotic is uninvested, so there's that. Either way, we outspeed. We're going for that Scald. And he does survive, doesn't get burned, and he gets off an EQ. And I don't like that. Because that... And he gets a critical hit! Ouch. That is not cool at all. He's going to get his lefty's recovery, so are we. At least we outspeed so we can get rid of this thing. Man. I mean, if that was a critical hit, though, he had to be physically defensive. He's going to go for the Ice Shard for some more damage. Should have recovered there, predicting that. He was doing that just to get as much chip damage off as possible. Scald is going to finish off the Donphan, and now we're just down to the Mega Slowbro, and I think that will seal the match for us, and we made a comeback here. It's just going to be a matter of, can we stall this thing out? Because really the only way I have to deal damage to it at this point is just Toxic. He take a little bit of damage due to the Stealth Rocks, and the Toxic is just going to build up and build up. He does have the Slack off, but I don't think he's going to be able to outlast it. I really don't. First step is first here. We're going to go for the Recover, and he will probably set up a Calm Mind, I would assume. Yeah, oh no, he's just going to go straight for the Psy Shock. Huh, okay. I wonder if he is just, blah, 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 I cannot talk. I wonder if he's just admitting defeat here? I don't know. Trying to make this go a little bit faster, because it's just going to be a PP stalling fest until eventually the Mega Slowbro goes down to the Toxic. I guess we'll go for Recover again? Or we'll go for Scald for some more damage? I don't know. I mean, Scald's not really going to do that much. So, oh, the match is forfeited, so he has decided that enough is enough, and that Mega Slowbro was not going to make it. So that is going to be it was either going to be a 2-0 or 1-0, or we'll just call it a 2-1 since that's what it was, with a forfeit by my opponent. So thank you very much for the match, my friend. Hope you enjoyed it. It was a long one. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Congrats if you made it through this entire video for like just about 43 minutes. That is insanity. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you're leaving a like rating or a comment or whatever you would like to do, and I will see you all next time. But until then, game on.